This session we will be focusing on the worksheets listed. Turn to the correct page in your book or get your individual worksheets ready. So let's look at anxiety and fears. Fear is part of every person's life. Everyone fears something. Some people fear really strange things, as well as the common ones, such as spiders, exams, heights, getting things wrong in class. And people with anxiety disorders frequently have intense, excessive, persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. Often, anxiety disorders involve repeated episodes of a sudden feeling of intense anxiety and fear or terror that reaches a peak within minutes. With this, it can lead to panic attacks. But let's look at your fears, your worries. Let's start off on your worksheet by grading some of the common things that you may fear. How would you grade yourself on a 1 to 4 scale? Remember, 4 means very much. Also, you can write a comment if you wish. Once completed, discuss with your key worker. The people you think are really brave and courageous are still afraid. They live with their fears, as we all do. Now, if the bad news is that fear never goes away, the good news is that it gets easier to work through with practice. With that knowledge, you can stop trying to end fear and instead challenge the feeling. Some celebrities use their fears of going on stage as a positive adrenaline boost. They embrace the feeling. Having previously looked at some common fears and graded them on the last task, and maybe discussed these with your key worker, let's take a closer look now at your more personal fears that may or may not have been flagged up. What I would like you to do is complete a mind map of all your personal fears. This can be on your worksheet, or if you prefer on a separate sheet of paper. But put as much detail down as possible and discuss this with your key worker. Remember the number 1 rule. After looking at your mind map and discussing it, did you know that the word fear is also an acronym that we can use to challenge these fears? Fear. False evidence appearing real. Now, a lot of fears are worries about something that might happen, however, you have no actual evidence. And here we are, back to you thinking the worst and look at the negatives, because it's easier. You probably have no previous knowledge or experience with many of your fears, and if you do, what says it will be the same again now? Go back to your mind map and list a negative and a positive outcome for each fear you initially put down. Is the positive outcome more realistic to happen than the initial negative thought? Or is it actually a more likely outcome if you embrace fear and just do it anyway? I think it's a self-target time. Set yourself 3 targets to challenge your initially listed fears and remove them. Remember, discuss these with your key worker.